Welcome to Radiant Health Yoga. I'm Deborah, and today's quote is by Yoshida Kenko. Blossoms are scattered by the wind, and the wind cares nothing. But the blossoms of the heart, no wind can touch. All right, let's go have a seat on our mat. I am going to suggest one thing in case you need. We're going to do at some point today garland pose. And some people might like to have a blanket where they roll it up a little bit or a lot. And the purpose of the blanket is to give you a little bit of support underneath the arches so that when we go down into garland pose, you feel as if you're supported and you're not necessarily holding yourself up by the thighs. So if you have that, go ahead. It's perfectly fine to be on your heels, on the balls of your feet with your heels off. Just as long, again, as you feel as if when we get there that your pelvis gets to soften down toward the earth. So you find the length around your low back. We might get there. All right, any comfortable seated position for yourself, legs crossed, uncrossed, and arms resting down on your thighs, palms either up toward the sky or down toward the earth. And go ahead and close your eyes and really sense your connection down into your mat, knowing that as your sits bones root you to the earth is already supporting you. And the earth sends back information to you about how you are being at this present moment. Is there a sense of lightness to yourself? Do you feel yourself maybe sitting a little back and sinking? Maybe you're pressing a little bit forward into space. See if you can find that sense of lightness of being right on top of your sits bones. And as you play with discovering that, there is energy easily rising up and down your spine so that the crown of your head floats effortlessly toward the sky. Your face is allowed to soften and relax. Maybe you find ease at the corners of your lips. And that has a trickle down effect of allowing the body to be present with ease. And sense the cool air coming in through your nose on your inhale. And as you exhale, warm air escaping your body. And on your next inhale, release the hands to the earth. The arms rise to the sky, where your hands meet at the top and come down to your heart center. And twice more in that cycle. You feel the connection with the earth, toward the sky, and returning to your heart. And last one, easy flowing breath, unite it with your easy flowing movement, and pausing when you arrive at your heart. Then take a moment here to either set an intention for your practice, create an affirmation for yourself, or perhaps dedicate your practice to someone who could use a little extra tender, loving care in their life today. And rising back up to the sky, blossom those arms open. Feel your heart rising up to the sun. Always lift it. The hands float to the earth and coming into a forward fold. Releasing through the front of the hip sockets, feeling your belly and heart draw forward over your legs and your arms in a comfortable position. Walking your arms over to the right low diagonal so you're hovering over your thigh. Feel a little length along the left side of your body as you walk your fingers a little bit, your left hand a little bit toward the right. And drawing your left hand to the side of your head. On an inhale, press down into the earth so you can rise and open. Let your head and eyes follow. And soften at the center of the chest. Feeling the openness across your upper back. And one more time. The sense of pressing into the earth to be able to rise and open. And using your breath, returning back down. Releasing the hand to the earth. And walk your right arm over a little bit more so you can open up into a lateral reach. Feel your left hip reaching away from where your left fingertips are reaching toward. And then rising up, moving the air. You're going to gather left hand over, under, right arm above, and then reaching across, lifting up through the sternum, and turn to look toward your left. Release the left arms down, coming into a twist, looking toward your left. Allow your legs to soften with ease. And returning to the front of your mat, clasping your hands together, pointer fingers forward. And on an exhale, coming into a spinal stretch so that the center of your back moves behind you as your fingers, the crown of your head, and your sits bone and tailbone are all looking more toward the front of your mat. So you feel that pull across your back. And reverse this, opening up, palms to the front. Heart rises up to the sky. Breath through the ribs. And then reaching up to the sky, staff pose, softness behind your knees, energy from sits bones to heel, sits bones to crown of head and fingertips. Release into cobbler's pose, having your heels as close or as far away as you like. Openness across the chest and sternum. Your shoulders roll back and down. Those shoulder blades sliding down. Exhale and coming forward. The entire torso coming forward toward the direction of your feet. And toes are relaxed. Maybe give them a little wiggle before you find your stillness. And check to see that you can swallow with ease. And that there's length at the back of your skull. So you're neither dropping your head down or picking up like a turtle coming out of a shell. You want to have that natural curve there. On your next inhale, you're going to open wide like a six-pointed starfish. And then release coming in, giving yourself a hug. And if you started with your legs crossed, cross your opposite leg in front and come back to a moment of stillness. Maybe your eyes are closed. And on your next exhale, release at the front of the hip sockets. Coming into your forward fold, sense that there's water running down over your low back and over your pelvis. Warm water cascading down over your upper back, down over the crown of your head. And your breath rising up and down, expanding side to side and bulging forward and back within your body. And on your exhale, you soften.
Walking your hands over to the left low diagonal, and reaching that right hand toward the direction of your left. And then drawing the right hand to your head. And on an inhale, press and rise, open on your second side. Exhale, release. And does your second side feel similar to the first side? Does it feel different? Once again, observing how our body is, right to left, upper to lower, and folding. And release your hand to the earth. Scoot your left hand just a little bit more pure side to your body as you open up into your lateral reach. Exhale, shoulder soften. And then your top arm as if it's moving the air so that you can move a little more fully into space. Right arm underneath, reaching across. The left hand reaching up and over. And exhale, spiral twist to your right. Relax the arms down. Your eyes look a little further to the right. Coming back to your front. Interlace those fingers, opposite thumb on top. And spinal stretch. Moving into your back space, simultaneously into your front space. Rising up to the sky. This time rotate, palms down, thumbs down, palms to the back. It's a backward speaking day. And lift your heart up to the sky. Release into your staff pose. Nice. And then return to cobbler's position. Find that openness and the softness across your chest and sternum. And as you come into your forward fold, perhaps you keep your arms on top as before. Maybe you slide them under and allow the backs of your hands to rest on the floor, or come into a bind where your hands rest on the top of your feet, but your toes are still free. Return to your breath for a moment. Sensing and feeling how your body responds to that breath. If your hands are in the bind or under your legs, go ahead and release them out. And on an inhale, open up to that X. That starfish expanding. And then release, coming into a hug. Inhale here, rise up, out. Now you can be that turtle coming up and out of a shell, moving into a spinal stretch one more time, keeping your arms here. Feel the center of your back moving away, your belly moving away from your thighs, and your eyes are probably looking more towards your knees or arms. So spinal stretch is also like a mini cat. And then as you rise up and those sits bones root down, you lengthen up. One breath here. And release. And coming into a downward facing dog. Come to the front of your mat with your hands. Tuck those toes under. And then give a nice shift back. Feeling the weight pass from your hands up your body, down your body. Lengthening. 4 points of contact to the earth. And if you like to have your knees bent, if that helps with your hamstrings, lower mid-back, go ahead and bend those legs as much or as little as you like. I'm going to stay here for another breath. Rise up to the ball of your feet. Bend your legs and elbows a little bit so you're in a crouching position, looking forward to the space between your hands. Preparation for crouching tiger. And in a moment, we add a forced exhale and stick our tongue out as long as we can. But we're going to return to downward dog first. Turning to your downward dog. Inhale as you rise up to the ball of your feet. And here comes our crouching tiger. And then walk the way to the front of your mat. rising up. And I'm going to turn and face you for a moment as your hands come into your hearts. Arms rise back up to the sky. Release your right arm, let it be heavy. And a lateral bend to your right. Left arm reaching up as if you had a little ribbon to hold on to. And then stir the palm. Let that right arm be heavy as you stir and reverse. Bending through the legs, rising up. Fingers interlaced at the top, pointer fingers to the sky, and reaching up to go over to your right. Again, a softness behind your knees. And then the left shoulder blade and shoulder wrap forward. So your head turns, look down towards your right foot. Pelvis is still to your front. Opening back up, rising to the sky. Imagine you have a basket full of feathers, and we're going to bring them down, release them, gather, return to the sky, open up, blossoms everywhere, reach into your back space, and then soften into chair. There are palms up toward the sky. See if you can sense those blossoms falling down over your arms. Soft, maybe they lightly tickle. And then exhale, forward fold. Your legs are still bent and your torso is draped over your thighs. Inhale, come your halfway up, whether it's fingertips to shins or thighs. Feeling the length up and down your legs and from head to tail. Exhale, bending through the legs. Draw your right leg back behind you. Moving into warrior two. Rotate your back leg about 90 degrees and rising up. Looking toward your front hands. Feeling the breath move across your body as well as that length from head to tail. Rotating your front palm up to the sky, coming back and over into reverse warrior. Lengthen your back arm down your leg and scoop it up by your ear. Two arms reaching into your back space as your front leg yearns forward. Your arms will initiate here, coming back to the front. Torso rises, palms stay up as we return to warrior two. And pressing from your front leg, lengthen, and simultaneously both arms return to your reverse warrior. Again, allow those shoulders to soften down. Feel as if your heart's opening to the sky, which might draw your left shoulder blade a little bit more toward your midline. Arms go down this time as you return to a bent front leg. Right arm to your head, and then reaching down as your right elbow is yearning upward. Again, I like the ribbon image. I have a ribbon around my elbow drawing me up toward the sky. Release, warrior two. Pivot on the ball of your back foot. And you can either stay lifted or draw your knee gently down toward the earth, rising up into your low warrior. Whoa, pressing down through that front foot, feel that reach upward and a little forward. Returning your hands to the earth. We have a couple options for the next one. As you lengthen through the back leg, walk your toes in and either have your hands on the earth or lightly on your shins or on your thighs. But make sure you're not on your knee. Feel that your hips are squaring off to the front of your mat. You can have a lift to your heart before you begin to lengthen down if you choose to lengthen down. If your hands are on the floor, you can add on flexing at the front ankle. If your hands are on the floor or your body,
You might want to play with peeling the back heel off. Or keep both feet firmly into your mat. One more breath. And then exhale, return your feet to the earth. Lengthen that back leg a little bit further away. So you're in a runner's lunge. And on your exhale, bend through your back leg. Draw it in to meet the front leg. And then uncurl your way back up. Spreading those arms out wide. And returning to your heart. Rising back up. Left arm gets to drop. Soften on the left side. And stir the pot as you lengthen up along the right side. Reverse. A little bend through the legs as you rise back up. And here come those blossom of hands come together. Rising up and over to the left. And that right shoulder blade folds in. You look down toward the outer edge of your left foot. Turning back to center. Rise up, blossom of flowers. You gather, you release, you gather, open, thumbs down as you rotate the arms, moving through space. And this time the tops of your hands come up as you soften into chair and your elbows are slightly bent. Feels a little different, doesn't it? And then rotate palms up and release. Lengthen your legs if you like or keep them bent. And then inhale, come your halfway up. Allow those hands to move as high as they need so you can find your length. Exhale, bending through your leg. Opposite leg goes back behind. Left leg, rotate it to 90 degrees and rising up into your warrior two. Gazing beyond your front hand. Feel your feet into the earth. And what information does it give you back right now about how you are being? Too much effort, right amount of effort, lightness, heaviness. And then reach your front hand forward, up and over. Slide your left hand down your back leg, scoop it up by your ear. Check to make sure that your head's not dropping back or too far forward. Arms in the sheet, the torso follows as you come up and over. Right palm stays up, left up. And on an exhale, lengthen the front leg. Both arms rise, draw the torso toward your back space. Feel energy out through those toes. And then bending the front leg as the arms move down. Left arm up towards your head, right arm toward the earth, left elbow toward the sky. Easy breath. Returning to warrior two. And pivot on the ball of your back foot. And if you'd like to lower your knee, you have a blanket, you can also put that underneath. And then rising up. Feel yourself being lifted for a moment. And return the hands to the earth. Tuck your back toes under. And here we go, coming up into our fourth Y position. Walk that foot in wherever feels comfortable. Find your length from head to tail. Watch that your feet don't roll out on you. 5 toes, ball of foot over the arch, down through the center of the heel. If your hands are on the floor, go ahead and flex that front ankle if you like. And then whether your hands are on the floor or on your body, you might want to play with peeling the heel off. As you exhale, the heart is drawn down the leg. Finding length wherever you are. Release both feet down. Lengthen that back leg a little more, and then from head to toe, find that runner's lunge. And on an exhale, bend for that back leg, draw it in, and uncurl your way up. Returning back to your heart. And take a deep breath here. Deep and slow. And for our last place to be today, we'll go into garland pose. So if you like to have your blanket, you might have your blanket. And opening up your legs a little bit more than hip width apart, just a little bit more. You might adjust that as you go along. Legs externally rotated, hands to your heart. And as you start to come down, release the hands, release your heels, and that way you can adjust your legs. Some folks may have their heels on the floor. Some of you may like to have your heels supported. And wherever you choose to be, it's as if the weight of the pelvis is yearning downwards. There's a softness around the shoulders and chest, even as the arms come inside. Feel that slight press of the arms into the legs and the legs into the arm. It's very slight. And as you exhale, there's breath around the hip sockets, the knees and the ankles, so that you can feel the breath at the back of your sacrum, that you can let go of holding on with too much effort back there. And breath up and down and across the low back. And if you prefer to have your hands long, little support on the floor, whatever makes it a safe and comfortable experience here. One more breath. And then do shift your weight to your hands. If you have your blanket, go ahead and move that away. We're going to come down and open up to that wide X. Deep breath in. Exhale. Release the hands to the earth. You're going to kind of have the Spider-Man, Spider-Woman fingertip there. And then lift the heart up. Right arm is going to release, come inside the left leg, scoop past it, rise up. Let your head and eyes follow as you watch it go away. And then left arm comes inside. Easy breath, rising up, turn to follow it. Return up toward the sky. And give yourself a hug. And pause here in your hug, let your eyes close. Let yourself feel at rest in this nurturing, cuddled position. How is your breath moving? A sense of lightness of heart. And then drawing yourself back to any comfortable seated position. Allow your hands to rest, palms up to the sky or down toward the earth. And then release your hands to the earth. Let them rise to the sky. And once more, return to your heart. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Be well. Namaste. And thank you all for coming and sharing in practice today. And I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye.